You wouldn't build a house without a foundation, so why try to build a business without one? Grow your contracting business and grow your mind with Growth Mindset Monday.
All right. Welcome to Mindset Mondays. For some of you on the East Coast, good afternoon. The West Coasters, good morning. Everybody in the middle like me, well, it is what it is. It's Monday. Glad you guys are here. Excited to share another Mindset Monday with you. This last week was kind of an interesting week for me. I got to go to Chicago. Now, if you've ever been to Chicago, Chicago's a very interesting city. Got a lot of diverse activities that you can participate in there. But it was a good time. I was actually there not for pleasure, but my son was actually graduating from Navy boot camp. That's right. He is now a full-fledged sailor. Really excited about that. I want to share some stories with you here in a second. But if you are watching with us live, you guys know the drill. Your name, your business name, your location, go ahead and drop it in the comments, and we'll make sure that we shout you out. We got some early risers here. We got Ground Fog saying what's up. We got Daniel with Noble Custom Glass and Mirror checking in from Buford, Georgia. Got the old headphones on today. Appreciate you listening. We got the Irving Corporation LLC from Richmond, Texas. Go, wait, is this the Horns? Go Texas. Yeah, they won. They killed Michigan. We've got Edward Pitkin with EP's Handyman Service from Nashville, Tennessee. Still a city on my list I want to visit. We got Ryan with Key West Remodeling LLC out of Orlando, Florida. We got Richard Tooley, Focus Handyman out of KC. Go KC, man. They pulled one off this week. That was cool. We've got Robert Kring. He's a handyman. Welcome, Robert. Gulf Coast One Maintenance LLC. And then the local handyman pros out of Hazel Green, Wisconsin. Welcome to the show. Yep. So I got to go to, it's called Great Lakes Recruit Training Command, I think is the official title. It is north of Chicago. I think it's considered North Chicago, which is kind of weird. We actually stayed in a town called Waukegan, which sounds kind of weird. I get it, but yeah, that's the name of the town. But it was really cool to go there. And trust me, this will all tie into what we're going to talk about today. And when they have graduation, by the way, the U.S. military is a machine. It is literally a machine. Obviously, they've been doing this for hundreds of years, but it is a machine. And from everything from getting your tickets to go watch graduation, max of 4 people per family, to where you park, to where you sit, because each recruit is assigned to a battleship or a unit. And so you want to sit in front of your unit so you can see your kid, right? At any given moment, or every week, I should say, they graduate on average between 1,000 and 1,200 sailors. 1,200 a week. Right. And these are 10 to 12 week programs. So they are rotating in tens of thousands of people, man. You got to have your stuff on point. And it was really cool to be able to be there and experience this. Yes, I got a little emotional. I'm not going to lie. Sappy dad moment, right? Really proud of my son to see how he's grown as a man, right? And not that he wasn't a man going in, but just different level now. Right? Different level. And it was really cool to experience that. But I'm going to tell you, their marching was precise. Their drums were precise. Everything happened in a specific cadence, in a specific order. And they said, hey, we're going to start at 8:30. We will be done at 10:30. And they were done, right at 10:30. So they have this thing down pat. Why? Because they do it every single week, right? Now, they had one speaker, and this guy, I'm going to butcher his title because I still don't know all the titles in the military, especially in the Navy. But this is the highest ranking enlisted position in the Navy. It's Master Petty Chief Officer or something or other. And I can't for the life of me remember his name. I should probably have looked it up. But he spoke, and he's been in the military for about 30 some odd years now. And he spoke and he talked to the recruits, obviously, but he was talking to them about success in life, right? And during his speech, he was talking about how it is that they're able to define and refine leaders inside of the military. And he said, there's a couple of things that we look for always. We don't necessarily look for skill set first. He said, I can train you how to shoot a gun. I can train you how to drive a submarine. I can train you how to shoot a weapon. Like, I can train you how to do that. So it wasn't skill set. What it was more than anything was mindset. He goes, if you have the mindset to want to do more, to be more, willing to struggle, willing to fail, knowing that you will fail forward, he goes, there will always be the opportunity for you to succeed inside of the U.S. Navy. And it was this powerful statement for me, right? I've been around the military my entire life. My dad was in the Army, active duty for 8 years, and then reserves for 30 plus years. I've been around the military my entire life. My grandfather was in the Army. And it's just been a part of who I am. Now, I personally never served. So if you did serve, we appreciate your service. Thank you so very much for helping us keep this country free. I was blessed enough to be a police officer, so not abroad, but definitely domestic. And so there's definitely a special place in my heart for those of you who have served in the military. So if you have family members, again, thank them for their service. Now, why do I bring up this Master Chief Petty Officer from the U.S. Navy for you guys? Well, this morning, as I was thinking through things, I realized that the topic of conversation every week should include in some way, shape, or form mindset. Why? Because mindset is everything. My son, who he's now graduated, he's going to be in San Antonio, Texas. So for all you Texas folks, he's going to be a corpsman, which is basically in the medical field. He hasn't picked a specialty yet, but he'll be in San Antonio, Texas for 4 months. So he gets to Texas. The first thing he does is, of course, breaks out his phone and starts sending me memes. We have this little meme thing going back and forth. So he sends me this meme of a Marine who's on the top of this platform, and they were doing rappelling. They were learning how to rappel down this platform. And you can hear the sergeant and the recruit, right? And the sergeant's telling the recruit how to get ready to rappel. And the rappel apparently was scared of heights or worse. And so the recruit, the sergeant's telling, okay, recruit, get ready, step on top of the platform. Sergeant, I don't want to. Sergeant, I'm scared. Sergeant, I can't. And he keeps saying these things, and people in the crowd are kind of laughing. You know, these other recruits are laughing, giggling a little bit, right? But you could hear the terror in this recruit's face or voice. And the sergeant stayed clear, stayed calm. Okay, what I need you to do is, with your offhand, I need you to wave to me. And so he waves at him. And then, of course, that sends him down and over the edge, right? So it goes down a little bit. And he kind of guides him down this rappelling wall, right? But it was interesting to me how, because the mindset that he had, it wasn't that he was scared. It's that he believed that he would fail, right? Which almost led to failure. And trust me, you don't want to fall off one of those ropes. But it was his mindset that affected him, not fear. Listen, we're all a little scared, right? I'm not going to lie to you and tell you that there's not some mornings that I wake up and I'm like, how the hell is this thing going to work? I'm literally building out a 3,500 square foot office right now. And I'll spare you the dollar amount. I'll just tell you it's in the tens of thousands of dollars that we're spending to remodel this office, to make our training room, our recording studio, our private offices have, beverages and food and audio, video, all of this stuff. I get a call on Saturday night from my contractor. He's like, hey, remember how I told you the electric was going to be this much? He's like, double that. I'm like, are you kidding me? He's like, no. The wiring in here is 20 years old and it's not up to code anymore for commercial buildings. So we're going to have to rewire it. I'm like, son of a gun. But sometimes you get scared and you're like, man, can I really take this thing on? Like, the rent for this place alone, let's just say it's multiple thousands of dollars, and like push high. That's where we're going with this thing, right? And I'm telling you that not for bragging purpose or anything else, but I tell you that because it's something outside of my comfort zone, right? It's something that I'm now going to have this space. We're calling it HQ, that every contractor, you included, can come down to any one of our workshops that we're going to be running multiple times a month. You can join some of our coaching programs. Like, there's tons of opportunities for you to learn and grow. But what I've realized more than anything is the reason I'm at where I'm at in life today has little to do with my skill set first. Trust me, I've acquired skills over the years. It has everything to do with my mindset, right? And my belief on what I believe could be possible. I'm going to pause real quick. We got some more folks that have joined the call. So we're going to go ahead and give you a shout out. We got Aaron Pedraza with JJ Roofing in College Station, Texas. Oh, yes. Texas A&M. We got Hani with Sunliners Handyman out of Michigan. Welcome to the show. We got Jose Delgado, Del Glass and Shower Doors Corp, San Bernardino, California. I'll be there on Friday. Not there, but in California. We got Victor with Rhino Builders out of Minneapolis, Minnesota. Welcome to the show. Patrick Olverd, Ram here Capital, private money lender. Welcome. Irving, nice, very cool comment. And Patricia says, happy Monday. So going back to this, right? Mindset. Why do I always go back to mindset? Think about this. When you woke up today, how many of you woke up and were like jumping out of bed, super excited, shaking your spouse? You're like, it's Monday. Yay, let's go. Right? Or were you dreading, right? Hit the alarm clock. What woke you up was either your wife pushing you out of bed or your kids jumping on you in bed, like trying to get school ready and work ready, and then phone calls and emails and text messages, and it just becomes chaos, right? And at some point, your mind is going to get overwhelmed. It's going to get flustered. You're going to get confused. Things are going to get chaotic. And our natural tendency as humans is to play it safe, is to play the comfort game. Our natural tendency is to not play to our full potential. Now, why do you think that is? Why do you think our natural tendency is not to play to our full potential? Well, I'll let you in on a little clue. Our brains were created a certain way. Now, I'm not a doctor, neurosurgeon, or anybody who's an expert in all things body, although I have studied a little bit about it, right? And so we have an area in the back of our head, back of our brain, and they call it the croc brain. I think it's called the medulla oblongata or something like that. But I call it the croc brain. Why do they call it the croc brain? They call it the croc brain because it's our primitive brain, right? It takes care of our most basic functions. And our most basic function, believe it or not, is not to thrive. It's to survive. And so when you think about this, when you wake up in the morning and you have those thoughts, I don't know if this is going to work out. I don't know if we're going to be able to get this job. I don't know if I'm going to actually be able to finish this job. I don't know if I'm going to be able to hire this person. I don't know. And all this doubt and this fear and this anxiety and the stress that comes along, it's natural, right? It's a natural thing. You are no different from everybody else on the road. Like if you're driving right now, look over to the guy to the left or the right. That dude's freaking out about something right now too. You just don't know it, right? He has the voice inside of his head. We all do. But naturally, our brains are set up to survive and not thrive, which is why when we talk about the fight or flight mechanism, most people are wired to flight, which means to run, right? Run from danger, hide from danger. Don't confront danger. Don't confront the unfamiliar. Don't confront the things that you don't know. Like don't touch that. Don't eat that. Don't poke that. There's all of these things that our mind is telling us not to do because it wants to keep us alive. But here's the crazy part, right? All these things that want to keep us alive. But then the other half of the coin is, can you really ever feel alive if you don't try and fail, if you don't experiment, if you don't go outside of that comfort zone, right? That's the crazy part. Now, some of you guys have heard Tony Robbins, Les Brown. There's a lot of these different, we call them motivational, inspirational speakers that are out there, and they're great. I've gone to a few Tony Robbins events, listened to Jeff or Tony Robbins and listened to Les Brown quite a bit. So Tony Robbins said this thing, right? The only limit to your impact is your imagination and your commitment. Now think about that for a minute. The only limit to your impact is your imagination and your commitment. You are all business owners. Okay. You all serve a certain person, homeowner, contractor, investor. You serve someone. And inside of serving them, what is your job? Your job is to do what? It's to give them as much as you can give them, right? Like people talk about, well, how do you make more money? Well, learn to give more, right? But you're only limited by your imagination. You're only limited by your commitment to that thing that you wanted to do. This morning, I was on with my team on our weekly meeting, and I told them our goal in the next 12 months is 50/50. It's 50 members in our high ticket business, and it's 50 members inside of our group program. 50/50. That's our goal by the end of this 12 months. Now, I believe we'll hit it before then, but that's our goal. Now, I get it. I look in their eyes and they're like, oh, how are we going to do that? Right? The glaze over look, I don't know. Is this going to work? Is it not? Crazy, right? It's your mindset. Everything's around your mindset. So I want to talk a little bit about mindset. This is a mindset show. Do we talk about marketing and sales and running your team and maybe, increasing your margins? Yeah, we're going to talk about all those things. But I want you to understand that you can have all the information in the world and it means absolutely nothing if you do nothing with it. Absolutely nothing. I literally I got a new book this week. Lessons Learned, My Journey from Contractor to Businessman, Charlie Gindel. This guy, I think, sold his business in California for like $100 million. Look at this guy. Does he look intimidating to you? Do you believe this guy's worth that much? But like, there he is, right? Why? Because he believed it, right? And so I got another book to work on my own mindset, right? To learn more so that I can grow more, so that I can give more, right? Limited by my imagination and my commitment. So when we talk about this, I want you to understand that everything in your business is possible and everything in your business is impossible. What does that mean? Right? It means that you're in control. Jim Rohn, who was a big motivational speaker, I've heard him multiple times. You can look him up on YouTube. It's ROHN, Jim Rohn. So Jim Rohn says, your life doesn't get better by chance. Doesn't get better by chance. It gets better by change. Your life doesn't get better by chance. It gets better by change. Now, we got a graphic up. If you're driving, don't look at this. If you're in your office, take a look at this for a second, right? We talk about change and chance, right? Chance is, hey, if I close my eyes and I cross the road, I might or might not get hit by a car. I don't know, but that's chance, right? You don't control chance. You control change. So where we start is always in the comfort zone, right? It's where you feel safe and in control. Think about your bed, right? Your warm blanket, you're cuddling up with your wife. That's your comfort zone. That's where you're comfortable. The first area that we have to pass through, though, that we have to break through is what we call the fear zone. Now, I'm a big dude on acronyms, okay? Fear. Fear means one of two things. You fear what you don't know, and you fear what you don't understand. So when you say, I'm scared of calling the 100 leads today, knocking a door, sending that first 6-figure estimate, when you say, I fear it, it's kind of because of one of those two things. You're scared because you don't know or you don't understand. And we can fix those, right? So the first thing you got to break through is fear. If you're encountering fear, you have to understand, why am I scared of this thing? Why is it freaking me out? Why am I experiencing self-doubt? Why do I not believe that I can do this, right? Again, is this something that I don't know or that I don't understand? You can see we got another acronym that Justin put up on the screen here. What is fear? Fear is also false evidence appearing real, right? It's make-believe. Think about all the horror movies that you watch, right? People with chainsaws and scissor hands and whatever else. Like, it's all make-believe, right? But why are they called horror films? Because they want you to fear it, right? Now, back to the graphic that we showed. The first one, again, was the comfort zone. The second one is the fear zone. We got to break through the fear zone. And you'll be in the fear zone because you're finding excuses or affected by other people's opinions or this lack of self-confidence. Now, once you break through the fear zone, now the fun really starts. Now you get to the learning zone. Okay? There's going to be things that you don't know and that you don't understand. But if you're willing to learn about it, guess what? Now you know them and now you understand them. So you're able to deal with new challenges and new problems. Guess what else comes in the learning zone? New skills and new experience. I don't know how many of you guys have ever tried to close a six-figure deal. The first time you try, you're going to poop your pants. I'm keeping it PG. You're going to poop your pants. It's a six-figure deal. I remember the first six-figure deal I closed. I was sweating, like pits all sweaty. Like I was like wiping my forehead. It was middle of summer. Like I won't tell you where else I was sweating, but let's just say there were other places I was sweating, like trying to breathe. My heart's beating all fast. And I'm sitting in front of this. It was a house remodel for an investor. And I'm like, okay, so Mr. Jones, here's based on what you said you wanted, here's what it's going to be. And like, I didn't know the first thing about selling, right? So I'm no pre-framing, no like, what happens if you don't do this? No, like, this is what makes us better, special, different than everybody else. I literally just handed him the piece of paper, right? And he looks it over, and he asks a couple questions and he's like, okay, when can we get started? And I about fell out of my seat, right? It was like, whoa, what just happened? Right? Closed the first deal. I had no clue what I was doing. Now, that was a good story. I'll tell you the next like 4 or 5, I didn't close. But I learned. I learned what to say. I learned what not to say. I learned how to treat people, right? I learned how to pre-frame. I learned how to make sure that if I was going to sit across from you, that I was going to make sure that you were qualified for the thing that you wanted anyway, right? Which is what I do now. Like if you wanted to have a conversation with me, the first thing that we're going to do is I'm going to ask you a series of 5 or 6 questions, which is going to tell me, should I even get on the phone with you? Now, it's not a good or bad thing. It's just my process, right? I got the process dialed in. Then we'll jump on the phone. I'm going to say 1 or 2 things for you, right? Based on your where you're at and where you want to go, this program or that program. That's it. But now I can do it with confidence, right? Now I can do it feeling secure and knowing what I'm doing. In fact, I'm flying to California, Corona, California on Friday. Just signed on the largest client I've ever signed on to date. Largest client. And I'll tell you annually, we'll just say it's above 50K. First time I've ever had a deal annually above 50K. Trust me, it was scary the first time doing that, right? But then now I'm completely confident because I know what I have is worth the price. 100%. So now let's think about you, right? You go from the comfort zone, you got to go through the fear zone. You go through the fear zone, you go to the learning zone. Once you get into the learning zone, now the fun starts because now you're going to transition over into the growth zone. Instead of reacting to what's happening around you, now you get to be proactive about it. You get to set goals and targets and objectives. You get to find and tie in your purpose. You get to make your dreams your reality, and you're full of self-confidence and belief. I get it. It sounds super simple on paper, and it looks easy, right? And you remember the old Geico commercials with the caveman, right? So easy, a caveman could do it. It looks that way, but it's not that easy. I still wake up every morning and I mentally go through a routine. I have to talk to myself positively. I have this mantra that I say, right? I talk about you are everything that you need to be. And I repeat that to myself 10 times. You are everything you need to be. Today, you will positively impact the lives of the people around you. Today, you will positively impact your family, right? And I can continue to tell myself this 10 times, each of those things, right? And if there's something specific that I'm going to accomplish that day or that I want to accomplish that day, then that gets added to it. But that's what I do every single day. Why? Because I don't have confidence in myself? Because I don't have confidence in my abilities? Because I don't have the stuff that it takes? No, because every single day, your mind and your body hit the reset button, right? You wake up, maybe you're sore, maybe you're not. Who knows? Either way, you reset. You got enough sleep, you didn't get enough sleep. Reset. Your mind is feeling good, your mind's feeling bad. Reset. You closed a big deal yesterday, you didn't close a big deal yesterday. Reset, right? Every single day. On my wrist, I've got these little wristbands that we give out. You can see there, it says, win the daily war. Win the daily war. You see, because everything in life is predicated upon what happens within these 6 inches. Whether you succeed or fail has little to do with the economy, the environment, the politics, where you live, how you grew up, what language you speak. I can go on and on. Has little to do with that. It has everything to do with what's happening inside of here. Last year, we took a painter. Great story. Josue is his name. Lives in Idaho. Last year, we started working together. Actually, it was the year before. Time's flying. Year before we started working together. He's an immigrant from Honduras. Like political immigrant. Right? He's a political immigrant because he was a teacher. He was a teacher, and the politics changed, and they came after him and his family. So he came here, and he tried to get political asylum. He did it the right way. Tried to seek political asylum. Well, they didn't grant it to him. He was in, we'll call it jail, if you will. He was detained in detention for 6 months. 6 months he was detained while he went through this process. And he had family here. Family had job, like he had a job for him, like everything. So he went through that process. And his family had like a painting / remodeling business. So he finally gets out, moves to California with his family, starts working there, ends up meeting his wife, moves to Idaho, decides he wants to start a painting business. Mind you, he was a teacher and English is not the best. But when we started working together, he was doing about $250 a year. And some of you were like, what, 250? I'm like, yeah, 250. By the time we stopped working together, right? We'll say graduated the program, he was doing 7 figures. Doesn't speak really good English. Doesn't come from a business background. He literally, and apparently balloons again. Damn those balloons. And he literally created the lifestyle that he wanted for himself and his family. I was just on the phone with him this morning, right? He created it out of thin air. It didn't exist. Was there fear? Was there doubt? Was there thoughts of like, I don't belong here. I'm an immigrant. I don't speak English the best. Sure. But he figured out what's my niche? What's my area? How can I add value? And I'm going to commit to that thing. And now he's done big grocery stores. Now he's doing big apartment complexes and commercial spaces. And he started painting walls for houses, right? How is it that somebody gets there? Somebody gets there because of their commitment to growth, because of their commitment to push through the failure, understanding that failure is actually part of the process. So here's my challenge to each of you, right? My challenge to each of you is this. There is something right now in your business that you are fearful of. And it could be just hit and send on that 6-figure contract. It could be firing the guy that you should have fired 6 months ago. It could be hiring that person that you right now can't figure out how you're going to afford them. It could be starting that new marketing channel. It could be Daniel here said, I'm still slightly fearful of taking videos for the business with myself in them. Pictures are okay, but still uncomfortable seeing myself on video speaking. Greatness is on the other side of fear. So well said. Daniel, here's the crazy part. I was just like you. Let's call it 7 years ago, 8 years ago, probably at this point. Never really been on camera. Hell, I was a cop. Let's just be real. I don't want to be on camera, right? That was a bad thing if I was on camera. And I had to learn this thing. I had to learn how to get in front of camera. I'm going to dig up one of my old videos, right? I had to learn how to be on camera. And now, trust me, man, nobody cares. And I don't say that in a bad way, but like nobody cares. I'm here every week. We record this. We put out content. Every single day, I'm recording videos, sending videos to someone somewhere. In fact, when we're done with this conversation, I've got 15 videos, personalized videos that I'm sending to people that I want to come to our next marketing workshop, right? Why? Because I want them to feel something personal. I can send them a text message, I can give them a phone call, or I can shoot them a video, right? So yes, you're going to feel uncomfortable, Daniel, right? But my challenge is just do it. And that's really for all of you. Find the thing right now in your business that has you scared. Like me, when I try to close my first 6-figure deal, sweating all over the place, heart beating fast, I'm breathing fast. Like, why? Why are you feeling that way? Is it because you don't know? Or is it because you don't understand? Figure it out. And then my challenge is for you to push through it. Go record that first video, and then the second, and then the third. And Daniel, here's the crazy thing. You only have to do 1 video a day. Shoot that 1 video. Be done with it. Go about the rest of your stuff. Then tomorrow, the next thing. Then the next day, the next thing, right? 1 video a day. That's all you need to do. Find the thing inside of your business that has you feeling scared. And my challenge, first discover why. Is it because you don't know or because you don't understand? And then the real big challenge, do it. Just do it. Like Nike says, just do it. Your life will change to the level of your commitment to do the things that at the beginning have you scared, have you stressed, have you feeling anxious. Just do it. All right. That's all we got for you guys today. I'm going to have Justin come on here in a second. Nope. Oh, see, Justin, you're so nice, Justin. I appreciate you. If you guys are interested, you've probably heard me talk about us building out our new office right now. We are having our first workshop. It is really catered towards people who are pushing up to or above 7 figures, but it's our Scale Smart Workshop, the ultimate growth workshop for 7-figure contractors. October 3rd and 4th here in Salt Lake. I'll be there, of course, and then we're going to have 2 special guests. Tim Brown, the CEO of RGS Exteriors. Tim does about $15 million a year. He works 1 day a month in the office. Ryan is the CEO of A Plus Garage Doors. He does about $35 million a year and works no days in the office. He's now focused 100% on acquisition and the growth of the business. So if you guys want to hear from them, want to ask them questions, we'd love to have you. We really only have 5 more spots left. Yes, there is a cost associated with it. It's your investment in you. So if you're interested, shoot me a message, Garrett@AmericanContractorNetwork.com. I'll drop it here in the chat so you'll have that. But we would love to have you guys come join us, get to be a part of our community so that we can help you continue to grow. All right. That's all we got for you guys. You know what time it is. It's time to get after it. 3, 2, 1.